And welcome back to the Chris Salcedo program. I'm Joe Pinion. Chris is on break. Well, the depth and scope of Russia's attack on the U.S. has not yet been fully realized. Cybersecurity experts say it could take years to understand just exactly what happened, what was stolen. But one thing is for certain, Russia was after national security and defense secrets. Here to join me to discuss is Chris Carter. He's the CEO of Approyo software company. Chris, thanks so much for joining me. So talk to me a little bit about this, because again, this is not your mom and dad's hack. I mean, this is really a robust effort here that we don't even know how long it is spanned. Talk to our viewers about that a little bit.
Yes, Joe, and thank you. You know, just as you stated in your opening, this is an incredible invasion of the United States privacy by being hacked by this whatever entity it was, be it China, Russia, or so on. We don't know how long, other than the fact that we know that we believe that thanks to the good folks over at SolarWinds, or excuse me, at FireEye, that the SolarWinds application was hacked about 9 months ago, and it lay dormant. And the reason that the folks at FireEye were able to figure that out is when the update to the Orion software, which is monitoring the landscapes of the federal government, as well as multiple, many Fortune 500 organizations, that update tried to hack the folks at FireEye. So right now, the United States government, these multi-billion-dollar organizations that we rely on every single day, they don't know how bad this is, and that should scare everybody.
Well, I think to that point, when you start really trying to understand the breadth and depth of this issue here, you look at somebody like Russia. They can't compete with us militarily. They can't compete with us economically. But what they can do is, have us chasing our tail here. Where in a world where, if you're playing a football game, well, if you've got your opponent's playbook, it makes it a lot easier to defend them. If you're trying to figure out how to do well on a standardized test, if you have the answers ahead of time, it makes it very easy to do well. So talk to us a little bit again about these unseen threads behind the scenes that can really have an impact on the security of America, but also the day-to-day living of Americans.
Yes, and just as I stated in your opening, you talk about the power grid, you talk about the water supplies, you talk about our basic forms of life, our gas, water, and electric. Those are all vulnerable. They're all on the network. And so what these organizations that are doing, be it Russia, China, Korea, they are going after the most common basic needs that we have here in the United States. And so they attack that, and they bring in thousands of individuals and train them how to be hackers. And they put them together in these organizations, and they do nothing but try to attack your firewall on a day-to-day basis. That's why this stay-at-home mentality is a good one. But unfortunately, we need those people back in the offices, because behind those office walls is a security profile, those firewalls. I know I've had to have my parents change their passwords on their firewalls. How many of the individuals that are at home working with their children online, with their husbands and wives online, actually have ever changed the firewall in their either Netgear or Linksys security router? 90% of those individuals, it's actually 89.7% of those individuals have never changed their password. And it's the same password for everybody. And that has got to scare everybody, because these organizations know that, they rely on that vulnerability, and they are attacking everything from your smart TV all the way to the networks of these federal agencies that we think that right now it's only 12. I can guarantee you, Joe, it is going to be many, many more in the upcoming days, weeks, and months.
Chris, quickly, got about 30 seconds here, but you spoke about these people working remotely. We know a lot of those jobs, those high security jobs down in D.C. in the government were jobs that had to be done in person, and now suddenly they find them actually working remotely, jobs that previously you would never imagine doing those jobs remotely. Talk to us a little bit about the dangers of that and how that can be also connected to the dangers of this current hack.
Very much so, because now you have outside networks that are in play. You're at home, you're at a Starbucks, you're at some other facility. Now you do not have that one-to-one connection. You have a one-to-multiple connection to get to your endpoint. It's very dangerous right now. Those people need to be back behind the firewall, back behind security, and securing our nation.
Absolutely. Chris Carter, thank you so much for joining me. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you, Joe. Great to have you again.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.